Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network.
This is a waste of taxpayer money in order to support Donald Trump in his defense of his criminal prosecution. And it's simply a political stunt designed to do that, masqueraded as an issue, as a focus on the Manhattan District Attorney's statistics, which, of course, Congress has no jurisdiction over.
Thank you. And one last one, Dan Goldman.
They don't have jurisdiction over this investigation, and they're trying to create after-the-fact rationale, which is why they don't mention Donald Trump at all in this hearing, because they know that they're in big trouble in the lawsuit with the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to determine whether or not this is a legal and legitimate investigation. It's not. They are acting as the defense lawyers for Donald Trump.
Yes. We can always rest assured that they will be overstepping and also goose-stepping idiots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the lawsuit, it opens them up. I mean, they're just idiots. They're always like exploding comedy cigars. Like someone was saying the lawsuit of Trump against Michael Cohen, stupid.
Yeah.
Michael Cohen even said, I can't even believe he did it. Opens him up to,
yeah.
Okay. Speaking of trials, the Dominion Fox News trial is...
Voir dire is happening right now.
Right, it's happening right now. Harry Littman, our legal lad, tweeting from there, he says the judge has ruled and will instruct the jury that all of Fox's statements were false. But Dominion still has the right to make its case, so they're going to present the statements from their first opening in all their lurid detail. Fox has to just sit there and take it. Yes, Travis.
This may be inappropriate, but in this scenario, Fox News is Gretchen Carlson.
Ah, yes,
court
that is
is Roger
inappropriate,
Ailes.
but you are correct. Yes.
That's
Fox
not
News
the first
will just
thought
sit
I
there
had.
and be
No, his
groped.
other thought was
They will sit there
pinball
and be
machine
legally
related.
Yeah.
groped. Yeah. They will. Fox will be bent over the pinball machine.
Yes.
Okay.
I may have said that, but I'm glad you said it instead of me.
Yeah. Well, I just repeated something inappropriate you said. I certainly can't be.
You weren't even in the room.
responsible.
You weren't
for
in
it.
the room. You
figured
just
it
I know
out.
what you. I know what you did.
You
know what you did last
figured that out
summer?
all on your own.
Harry said, plus judge has ruled that instances of good fact-checking, etc. by Fox are irrelevant, meaning Fox can't make its, quote, cherry-picking defense that has been the mainstay of its public statements. I believe that's all legalese for Fox News is
Yes.
well and good.
Yes.
Over the
Bye-bye.
jukebox.
Goodbye now.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start calling that courtroom.
So I guess there was no settlement is the main news.
Dominion
right?
was not about to settle. There's
Yeah.
no way. They want
they want
like
the
my
apology.
like
They
with
want-
my mom. She could have settled with the Enquirer. And she was
Jody's
like,
mom
no.
is Carol Burnett. She very famously sued the National Enquirer. Go ahead, Jody.
And I mean, she could have settled, but she said, "No, I want it on a record. I want,
Yep.
I want them to be found guilty." And
Right.
that's what Dominion is doing. That's the same thing.
Right. Well, she. I mean, I don't know what Dominion's, but your mom didn't do it for the money, right? Like
No, she
gave
donated
to
the money.
She donated the money
Yeah.
anyway. That was the point.
Yeah.
And the thing with Dominion is, I'm sure it has hurt them business-wise.
has.
Yeah.
And they are owed money, but I think in addition, you're right. It's
Probably
reputational.
Whatever
It's-
punitive damages that they're awarded, they might donate some of it or all of it.
I
to
keep
somebody.
saying this could be the fastest trial ever. Just play the Trump campaign
Yeah.
person. Can we go off the record? The machines are fine. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
The recount is exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know, bam, that's it. And it's months and months and months of lies and of them knowingly doing that after being told by the Trump campaign, which I think is more significant, right? All right, so back to the clown show. The evil clown car has unloaded in Manhattan with the stunts and. I almost get this close to bleeping the wrong word,
You almost
but I didn't,
don't.
Sean. I didn't because I love you.
he's only got a couple more hours before he has to not dive.
Yes, that's right. Gerald Nadler.
It is, to use Chairman Jordan's favorite term, a weaponization of the Judiciary Committee. The chairman says this hearing is about the victims of violent crime in Manhattan. Never mind the fact that New York is one of the safest big cities in America.
Thank you.
Never mind the fact that under the leadership of Mayor Adams and District Attorney Bragg, over the last year, crime in Manhattan has dropped in nearly every major category.
Yes. Can I just say one thing, though, about Mayor Adams that annoys the bejesus out of me, beside the fact that I'd rather have seen Mayor Maya Wiley. But that's not important now. But I can see why Bill Maher likes him. Because he said something the other day about, the far right doesn't want any restrictions on guns at all, which is true.
Very true.
And he said, but then he said the far left don't want any prosecution at all of people that use guns. And
That's
I'm like,
not true.
I'm like, no one on the left has ever said, no Democrat has ever said they don't want gun crime to be prosecuted. Both sides do not do it. Oh my God. Okay, sorry. That was just a sidebar, Counselor. Could I go on, Law and Order?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Proceed.
Here is Chairman Adam Schiff.
Since the former president's indictment, the Manhattan District Attorney has been the subject of countless death threats and racist diatribes. Others have made ugly appeals to anti-Semitism in an effort to attack the proceedings. And this committee has used every means at its disposal to disrupt, interrupt, and interfere with the prosecution, demanding documents it has no right to obtain and no jurisdiction to demand, subpoenaing a former district attorney, deputy district attorney, and threatening to subpoena the DA himself.
Yeah, which, again, Jim Jordan and his tiny E.T. dying in the creek, necrotic gray head have their nerve. Subpoena, he did not comply with the subpoena.
No.
He should not even get it out of his mouth before everyone just sends him to shut the up mountain. Don't you think?
The DA that they want to talk to quit because he didn't think Alvin Bragg was going fast enough or strong enough against Donald Trump. So I would testify if I were Pomerantz.
Right.
Yeah, have me at it.
Right.
Sure. I'm going to make
Right.
you guys look
But
like idiots.
They're trying to use it to, this was always politicized and just about getting Trump and blah, blah, blah. Okay, Chairman Schiff, one more.
Now, the majority denies that this is the purpose of today's hearing. They would have you believe it is a mere coincidence that all of a sudden and out of the blue, the chairman decided that the state of New York is a wonderful place to do a hearing. Not the chairman's home state of Ohio with its high rates of murder, but New York State. And of all the cities in New York, they would pick New York City. And of all the boroughs in New York, they pick Manhattan. Apparently, Manhattan is just lovely this time of year. What a remarkable coincidence, we are meant to believe. Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, we just happened to walk into this one. How absurd.
Yeah, I love that.
We've lent him that snark.
Oh, yeah.
Our favorite congressman, we lent him some snark from the Stephanie Miller Show. He's going to has to return it like a library card.
Our smooth jazz congressman.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. David Sicily.
Gun violence is now the leading cause of death of children in America and kills 40,000 Americans a year. Yet my colleagues vote repeatedly against even the most common sense gun violence prevention measures. They vote against getting assault weapons off the streets, despite the previous assault weapons ban that drastically reduced gun violence. They vote against alerting people to active shooters. They vote against safe storage and red flag laws. They vote against community-based crime prevention programs. They vote against background checks. And the list goes on and on.
And the most cynical thing about this, I think Charlie writes about it, is just that, the victims of crime were obviously very, heartfelt and wanted to tell their story. The Republicans don't give a flying about people from New York. They hate people from New York. They use every opportunity to demonize them, right? That's New York is their code for, Jew. I mean, it's just, we get their whole, just this whole dog and pony show. The fact they're using human props to try and, make it seem like they really care about crime in New York. It's just, they're gross. They're gross.
They are.
Okay, one more. David Sicily.
Please spare me this suggestion that this is about a sincere interest in finding solutions to crime. This is about your agenda to earn the admiration and support and good wishes of the former President of the United States.
Thank you, David Sicily. Okay, pop quiz, Jody. Are you ready? When because it's a dog whistle quiz. When Republicans say New York, they mean
Barney Rubble.
no
Who's against the book?
Jew.
Oh.
When they say Chicago, they mean
Black.
When they say San Francisco, they mean
Gay.
Okay, I'm gonna trip you up. When they say Hollywood,
Gay, black.
all of it,
All
all
of
of
it.
it,
Jews.
all of
Gay,
it.
black
Jew,
Gay, black
gay,
Jews.
gay.
Gay, black Jews.
Yes, all of it.
Republicans say they won't cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid. But can honest, hard-working middle-class Americans really believe what these politicians say? Republicans said they wouldn't overturn Roe v. Wade. Here's what Supreme Court Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett said during their Senate confirmation hearings.
Roe v. Wade is a precedent of the United States Supreme Court. A good judge will consider it as precedent of the United States Supreme Court.
Roe v. Wade. It's settled as a precedent of the Supreme Court.
Roe is not a super precedent, but that doesn't mean that Roe should be overruled.
Well, we saw how that turned out. They played us for fools. Tell your elected officials to keep their hands off of our Social Security and health care benefits.